And now we head to First and Football, and we start with some big news out of Miami. Jalen Waddle signed a 3-year, $83.75 million deal with a whopping $76 million guaranteed. They had previously signed their other wideout, of course. And what do you think about them locking up this duo of Hill and Waddle in Miami?
Yeah, look, that's what's happening now. Wide receivers are getting the proverbial bag right now, and everyone's locking up not just their number one wide receiver, but 1A or 2, however you want to rank them, team to team. The Philadelphia Eagles did it. The Titans did it. The Texans are doing it. Almost everyone, are making sure that their best playmakers are locked up for, it seems like the going rate's 3 years, right. $20 to $32 million per year. So congratulations to Jalen Waddle. Obviously, it's well-deserved. He's obviously a huge part of that offense. They're not nearly as good in the games that he's missed due to injury. Yeah. So if you're a Dolphin fan, this is a good day because you keep that core together. Obviously, the next guy to sign in Miami is going to be Tua, and we'll see how that plays itself out either this year or after this year. But it also, to me, highlights the wide receivers who haven't gotten contracts signed, and it makes it more glaring. Yeah. So whether it's Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, obviously, and a couple other guys, CeeDee Lamb in Dallas, all these guys are getting deals done.
Right.
And you know the parameters of it. It's going to be 3 years, about $20 to $32 million per year, about 80% of it guaranteed. How come Dallas isn't doing it? How come Minnesota isn't doing it? And how come Cincinnati isn't doing it?
With all the guys that you just named, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase, you can sit here and say today that all 3 of those guys are better wide receivers than Jalen Waddle. You will say that.
Agreed.
But you're looking at the league today.
And that's not a knock on Waddle.
It's not at all.
Facts.
It's just facts and the stats and what the naked eye tell you. But this is telling you that the league and the wide receiver market is going up, and it's going up rapidly and in abundance. So if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're sitting back looking at this, listen, now he's looking at his price tag just went up just because of what Jalen Waddle did. And it's the unfortunate thing about this league when it comes to business. Like when you draft a guy, you want him to come in and play well, or you want him, help your organization get to win the world championship. That guy wants to be first team All-Pro. He wants to make the Pro Bowl. He wants to get to the playoffs. He wants to win the Super Bowl. But when that player goes out and performs and he actually exceeds your expectations of what that guy's capable of, pay that man.
Pay the man.
Those guys are deserving of what they want and what they need and what they should get.
And here's the deal. We've talked about this a lot over the last couple of weeks. If I'm Justin Jefferson specifically, if I'm Jamar Chase specifically, and CeeDee Lamb, those 3 guys, I love the fact that these dudes are signing for what they're getting because everybody knows, like you said, not a knock on Waddle, but these 3 guys are a little bit better.
Yeah.
And because he got essentially $22 million guaranteed a year for 3 years, or a little bit more than that actually, because 76 is guaranteed? Is that the actual number? Yeah. So just over $25 million a year guaranteed, which is essentially the Devontae Smith deal in Philadelphia. That means I'm getting more. So as much as Minnesota fans want JJ signed immediately, Cowboy fans, and on and on and on, from their perspective, it's going to pay off to be patient.
Craig, let me ask you this question because you hit the nail on the head. If I'm an NFL agent, it's not complicated anymore. Like if I represent Chase or CeeDee or Ayuk, the numbers are right there. If I'm Jamar Chase, $33 million a year, 3 years, and put some more on top that's not guaranteed. So why don't these deals get done?
Well,
right there.
Justin Jefferson allegedly turned down $30 million a year. The only reason those guys may not get signed or haven't been signed is they may say, I don't want a 3-year deal. 3-year deal is not long enough for me. The guaranteed money's not enough. Look, if I'm a 25-year-old kid who has not had a single injury, knock on wood, in my NFL career, I'm not signing a 3-year deal. I want a 5-year deal.
Why not?
Because I want as much guaranteed money as possible. I want that $30 million a year for 5 years, not 3 years. Maybe that's what it is.
So when you sign basically a 5-year contract, you want to make as much money as you possibly can in your first 3 years of the deal, because the last 2 years of the deal you may never see.
That's fair.
I mean, that's when when I was playing, you wanted to get much guaranteed money you could in the first 3 seasons, because you knew in your 4th and 5th season you was playing salary, or you had a high roster bonus to get you to get you
right.
paid.
It's very rare to earn the entire 5 years. I got what you're saying.
Right.
But look, it's all about the guaranteed money.
Right.
You could sign me to a 10-year deal. I guess it doesn't matter. How much money are you guaranteeing me? And in the case of Waddle yesterday, it's $76 million guaranteed.
Right.
No matter what happens, he, God forbid, you'll get hit by a car crossing the street.
Damn.
I'm just giving you for instance.
Easy.
Maybe is that a bad example?
Yeah.
He chokes on bubble gum. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't go into a coma. $76 million guaranteed, and that's all that really matters.
But on the flip side of it, he's still going to be in his 20s.
He'll get another contract.
3 years from now, he's going to be able to get another contract.
Right, meaning that a guy like Waddle, and this was unheard of, could make like $150 million.
$150 million in
Yeah, it's on the table.
Well, moving on to second in football, another receiver who's still on his rookie deal is the Jets' Garrett Wilson. And he was asked about the offense this season with Aaron Rodgers. We're going to score points. That's something the Jets didn't do a lot of last year. Do you expect Garrett Wilson, who had a pretty good year last year, to have a huge season next season?
Yeah, look, he should be a 110-catch guy in that vicinity this year. But that, again, is assuming Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. And think about it, if you're Garrett Wilson, you see all these guys now making big-time money, $25 million a year guaranteed for multiple years, and you are the best wide receiver the New York Jets have. And you put up legitimate numbers. You see them on the screen right there with bad quarterbacks. I mean, you remember towards the end of the season, they were desperate to try to get him to 100 catches, and obviously they fell short of it. But the guy put up ridiculous numbers with a bad offensive line and without a competent quarterback. So, yes, if you remember, the last image we had of Garrett Wilson last year was a dejected, frustrated young player who's like, come on, man. Like, we're wasting my best years, maybe, with bad quarterback play. So, obviously, he's excited. Like, by the way, if I had a six-pack like that, I'd walk around with my shirt up, too, nonstop. If I had Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback, I'd go belly all out. What's up? How's everybody doing? I'd walk like George Jefferson into practice. What's up, Weezy? And that's what I would do. And I'm not talking to you, Lil Wayne, but the reality is that I would flaunt it. I would be excited. But Garrett Wilson learned a valuable life lesson last year. Until it happens, it hadn't happened.
Right. I'm looking at those statistics that he's been able to put up over his first 2 years with Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. I'm looking for Garrett Wilson to basically explode this season as being one of the great young talents, at the position because he has Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear anything about the Jets offense going forward when Aaron Rodgers is under center. Just everything like he just said. They should win games. They should score points.
Yep.
There's no more excuses for you and the fan base and anybody else. You got your quarterback.
Yes.
And if you can't get it done without Aaron Rodgers, then who?
Tyrod Taylor.
No. I love Tyrod. 757 from Tidewater. Peninsula, whatever it may be. But Tyrod Taylor and Aaron Rodgers.
There's a little difference in talent there, and I happen to like Tyrod Taylor a lot too. Now, here's the other good thing about Garrett Wilson and about guys like him going to OTAs. You get to see a little bit more of their personality during OTAs because he's got nothing to prove. Well, he's a known quantity. We know what Garrett Wilson is. But Garrett Wilson was having some fun with a brand new teammate, Malachi. How do you pronounce his name? Corley. Malachi Corley, who has great penmanship, kind of like my guy Plaxico Burress. Okay, what else you got?
Moving on to third and football. What you see here is Caleb Williams connecting with Rome Odunze, two rookies on the Bears. And you'll be seeing a lot of that this offseason because it has been announced that the Bears are going to be the next subject of Hard Knocks. Craig, Caleb Williams, #1 pick in the draft. A little controversy about his personality. Do you think this will be a good or bad thing for Caleb?
I mean, if I was a Bears fan, obviously you want to see it because you're so invested in your team. But I always think it's a bad idea for rookie quarterbacks to be put under that kind of spotlight. That Hard Knocks, which is a great show, we all love watching it. But if I was the coach or the owner or the GM of the Chicago Bears, I would have fought this tooth and nail because I don't want my rookie quarterback having a camera in his face after every bad throw in practice, every meeting, all that stuff that we love as fans. It also will have zero impact on whether or not they win or lose football games. But I would think the Bears were probably against it. And then there's someone in the marketing department that goes, this will be good for business. Let's say yes to it. It's money in our pockets. And money at the end of the day is the most important thing.
Hey, whether it's hard knocks or not, Caleb Williams is in the spotlight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everybody's pretty much crowning him. He's the best quarterback to come into the draft in the last 20 or 30 years. And, unfortunately, it's in Chicago, and we know how everybody up there can be if you're not winning football games, especially for him. I think he really has to go out and play well. If he doesn't, it's going to be a loss.
And look, as much as I complain about the New York Jets quarterback position historically and the fact that we've never had a legitimate franchise quarterback, neither of the Chicago Bears. Like, they've never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards in a season.
He might be the best Bears quarterback. He hasn't thrown a pass.
Do you understand how difficult it is to play in that stadium?
But, Plax, 100 years, don't you have to get lucky once?
Quarterback?
I'm telling you.
Like, the greatest quarterback in Bears history, Sid Luckman.
Sid Luckman,
hey,
our guy.
Hey, my good buddy Musim Muhammad got a lot of slack. Slack for this a few years ago. He said, wide receivers go to Chicago to die.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
That's actually what he said, and a lot of people didn't like him for that.
Think about the two quarterbacks that have taken the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl. Jim McMahon obviously had that great run, and that team was built on its defense.
And
the Buddy Ryan defense, right? And Rex Grossman. Those are the two guys that have taken the Chicago Bears franchise to a Super Bowl. Rex, and his middle name is effing. Rex effing Grossman. That's the guy that took the Chicago Bears. Think about that.
That's not pretty.
Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.